What's up, my faithful minions? This is Master Maniac, and I'm back for another episode of Age of Engineering. And first off, before we get started with anything, you guys will be hearing something in the background right about now. Yeah, I've got background music now, courtesy of a good friend of mine. He goes by the name of Liquix online. Um, I'm gonna provide a link to his SoundCloud down below. His stuff shouldn't be downloadable, but it's all fine and good. You can at least listen to what he's got up there. Anyway, between episodes, I built this great big monstrosity. I like the hex plate tiles, but the whole room just feels a little too plain to me. But basically, my plan for this room is to have to make it a power gen room. So now we've got plenty of room for whatever we decide to use for power. Which at the end of it, I'm probably going to do the biofuel generator from Immersive Engineering. That seems like a very nice way to produce power, but we're not going to get into that part today because that part's expensive. It takes a lot of steel. Today, we're going to get started with extra utilities and grid power. Now, inside of here, you guys can see I cleaned all this stuff up between episodes, and I believe I added the second water mill on camera. I'm not sure, but we've got the second water mill in, and now all of our power goes straight up and into another capacitor up at the top over here. So let me get in and get upstairs. You'll notice the building is taller. That's because I built out the upper floor. And now all of our RF-based machines are in here. Yeah, nothing new, with the exception of this guy. So the HV capacitor is actually not too hard to make. HV capacitor. There we go. It's a Rostonia crystal, a block of lead, aluminum, and 2 MVs. And then leading get electrum, iron, and 2 LVs and a regular Rostonia crystal. So all in all, this is like great and pretty easy to make for the early game. Holds 4 million RF, which makes it perfect for doing a Rostonia crystal batch if you don't have enough power to keep up with it. But yeah, I moved everything around. I don't like the immersive engineering wires indoors. I will say that they tend to look like a mess. I left this spot open because that's where I'm going to put the metal presses from immersive engineering. I just don't quite have room for them yet. Between episodes, I also went and made a crap load of this conduit binder. We're going to need a lot, so might as well have a lot. And then I made this experience obelisk, which basically just stores all your levels. And if we look, here it is. It's just 3 solarium plus the experience rod, which is solarium and energetic alloy, and a machine chassis, of course, which we saw how to make last episode. So that wasn't all that bad. This episode, we're going to get started with grid power, and the way to go with grid power is the water mills. And I just so happen to have gathered up enough stuff to make a stack and a half, or no. Wait a minute. A stack plus 16. That's what I needed. A stack plus 16 of them. But we have to get started with a resonator, which is what this stuff is right here. So let's go ahead. Resonate Tor. There we go. And bam, we got one of those. Now you'll notice right away if we put it down, there's nothing super special about it. It's supposed to turn this polished stone into stone burnt, which we need to make the water mill. But if we go ahead and drop it in there, you'll see this. So this basically means we don't have enough grid power to run this. What I can do, however, is get those And I think that's all I need for the extra utilities solar panels. I need 3 crafts worth because you can see this guy, when I had the stone burn in there, takes 8 grid power to use, or to work. And each one of these produces 1 grid power apiece. So I'm going to go ahead and drop these guys down just right up here. And the cool thing about grid power is that it's like universal. So no matter where you're producing grid power, you'll always have it. You don't have to run wires to it or anything. And that's like super nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this polished stone and dump. Right, it's not doing anything because it's not daytime. Solar panels don't work at night, but I'm sure you guys knew that. Yep, we can see here it's going. So now we need to use this to make the water mills. And that's 6 stone burn apiece, 2 redstone gears. These guys were expensive. It took about 12 stacks of redstone and 12 stacks of sticks to make all the torches, which with the lumber axe it wasn't that hard to get because there's a jungle like off that direction, not too far. But yeah, that's pretty much the worst part of this. To get these, it wasn't all that difficult either. You just need 4 redstone plus an ender shard, which is made by using a glass cutter with an ender pearl, and that's the recipe for the glass cutter. Now, I do believe that takes durability. I didn't put it in here. That's another thing I need to show you, though. We'll get to that in a minute. Where did the glass cutter go? Oh, it does have durability. Okay, and I ended up making entirely too much, but that's all right. Just now noticing I'm actually going to need 16 more of those. 14, 16. Good. Okay. Now we should be adequately prepared for this episode. I'm going to BRB once I guess I have enough for 1 set. Yeah, I'll come back once we have enough to actually do something with and catch up with you guys then. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we've got that made and encapsulated, with the exception of this side, because the other tower is basically going to go right here, all the way up to the ceiling. But before I get into any of that shenaniganery, let me come over here, and we're going to speed up the whole stone burnt cooking process, because it is very, very slow. In case you're wondering, we have 128 grid power. That is without the solar panels, which we will probably remove as soon as we're done making this. But right in here I have 20 of those. I'm going to need some redstone and some gold. And we should see that these weighted pressure plates, which is just 2 gold apiece, is being turned into upgrade bases. And if we look at the uses for those, we can make speed upgrades. Up to 20 can be fitted in a machine. So you can see that doubled the cost of the grid power cost. We put it in there again, 8, 16, 24, so it is incremental. But that should not be a problem. We are going to be a little bit shy on grid power, but this is already much faster. Oh, that'll be way, way quicker. There we go. And now we should see it is fully upgraded. Let's see how quickly it does stuff. Oh, we're a little short on grid power. Okay. That's alright. That's still much faster. So what I'm going to do is put in another... We'll probably build up both towers of water mills. That would probably be less tedious and jump cutty. So I'm gonna build up another slice, put the rest of these speed upgrades in here, and go to work on the two towers. Be right back. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and I've got 8 of these water mills crafted up. It took 48, I believe. 48 of the stone burnt to do this, just in case you're wanting to math it out on your own. And the very first thing we're going to do is chuck a water block in the center here. And you can see that this says generating 4 power. Basically every side of a water mill that's touching a flowing lava, or flowing water, sorry, will generate 4 GP, which means that we can get all of the outsides here too, which is precisely why I brought this glass to demonstrate kind of how we're going to set this up. Now remember, it won't generate anything with source blocks of water. Like you can see right here, this one says power generating 4. If I were to put a source next to it, it still says 4. So you have to have a source 1 block away from it, or 1 block diagonal to it, you know, in whatever case. So basically that's how it's going to work, just like this. And then we're going to do this like a layer of mills, then a layer of glass, then a layer of mills, layer of glass. Might not be the most efficient setup, but it's fine. We're just basically gonna have 2 towers of that, and yeah. So I'll catch up with you guys once I have that done. This side's actually gonna be a bit different, but I'll catch up with you guys when I have that done. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and we have our 2 great big pillars of water mills made. The worst part was really waiting on the polished stone to become stone burnt, but with the upgrades, even that was far less tedious. So now, excuse me, now we have 1,289 grid power. Pretty sure we don't need the solar panels anymore. So this is great. This is going to let us do a lot of stuff with like transfer nodes. We'll basically never have to worry about grid power ever again. The strongest grid power mill in the game is the Dragon Egg mill, and I believe it only produces like 500 grid power. So that might be extreme overkill, but I think that's all right for putting me in a state where I never ever have to worry about GP ever again. That's great. And we will actually need that come next episode, hopefully. Oh yeah, I was smelting up a bunch of sand. We will actually need all the grid power come next episode. Well, maybe not not all of it. Good lord, I'd hate to think of what I could get into using all of that. But the grid power that's there, we'll at least make use of some of it next episode. Anyway, I'm gonna BRB. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and the very next thing that I want to do is take some of this pulsating iron and make myself some item conduits. Now, I'm hoping this is going to work with what I'm about to build next, but we'll see. Shouldn't need my sword right now. So, we're finally going to get around to making the metal presses from Immersive Engineering, which is going to be fantastic. So let's see, I need chest, block, 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 conduit, and I'll just do that for now. and make it all look decent later. And then we're gonna need scaffolding. No. 2 scaffolding. A redstone, piston, an engineering block. And it is actually important where they're facing. Yeah, you see the little triangles in there? So it points to whatever side of the block you're clicking closest to. And then, now that we have that, we can rotate this so the piston does have to face downwards. But once it is, you just right click it one more time and it forms the multi-block, which is great. And then I can place the chest there, and this thing here, and set it to insert. And then I set this thing to extract to always active. And now anything I put in here should go up to this, but we're gonna need a mold to go on this. So if I look here, you can see there's 5 different ones that we can get. We're gonna get the plate, the gear, and the wire presses. And we'll deal with getting those in just a moment. Right now I want to finish setting these 3 up, hook them up to power, and I will be right back. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so we are back, and the first of these that we want to make is going to be the plate. So, here we go. I'm going to take this and bring it up here, and I want to do the plate one for a very specific reason. Right click, there we go, and I guess I should grab an ingot or something to show you guys how this works. How about... Well, I'm gonna need some more steel plates, so why not steel? So I should be able to just drop that in there. It comes up, gets stamped, and ends up in this chest. How cool is that? So now we need to do the same thing except for wires and gears, and I'm probably gonna get some item frames to throw on in front of these so that I know which one's which, because I will almost definitely forget. Actually, I'm gonna need 1 more steel. Anyway, I'll be right back once that's done. Alright, we are back, and as you guys can see, I've got the gear mold here and the wire mold there. Now that that's taken care of, we can make all these things much more easily. Basically, the stuff that I'm doing this episode is sort of laying out a foundation and infrastructure for things later on down the line. For example, when we start getting into immersive engineering power gen, I want to use the wires from immersive engineering to move it from the power gen area to the base, at least. Because they do look kind of cool outside, like on poles and stuff. I mean, looks kind of garbage when they go into the ground, though, like that. Anyway, you guys will notice I've got these basic drawers in my inventory. They are a part of the next thing I want to take care of. So if we come in here, you guys can see I've built a little room. And right here is going to be a doorway going back to, like, another room with mob farms and stuff in it. So on the side here, I want to put these drawers, basically so that I have access to all of the drops from all of the farms. And we're actually going to start that with the farm that we already have. So I'm just going to come here, and I'm going to have to set all of these to insert, unfortunately. And I'm going to have to do that all manually. Tell you what, I'll be right back when all of this is taken care of. And we're back, and I've got basically, as far as I know, I've got everything that drops out of the mob farm up there in here. So what I'm going to do is just bring this back a little bit. And come this way. Oh, there's a creeper. There's a creeper dying in there. I hear him. Heard him. Alright, so out of this chest is basically where I want to draw all the stuff. So I'm going to pop that off for now. And dig down right here. Now I should enter that tunnel somewhere. Extract always active. Might as well bring that down with us. There we go. Just place it right inside our face. That's, oop. Okay, here we are. So I'm going to want this to come over here. Now, am I going to be able to... Nope. Okay. Let's try this. And bring it down to right there. Fantastic. Nice and hidden. Well, it will be nice and hidden once I can clean this room up. I may or may not do it. I might just leave it as a cave, but we'll see. I don't know about that yet. The only other thing I think I want to do is actually come up here. Nope. Hop, 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 hop. Hello, Mr. Skeleton. I hear you dying. Give me... No, don't give it back? Okay. And those should be the only two. So I should now be able to... I know I've got an excavator in my inventory, but I want to restore this back to its former beauty, if you will. Just go ahead and drop all of these in here. Actually, don't do that. I was lying. Dump all of these in here. That should be everything I picked up. Okay. Okay, good. So now I can come over here and do some stuff like this. And just set all of these to extract always active. Actually, I think it's just these three that have stuff in it. Yeah, so I don't even need this one. Go ahead and get that out of there. Reclaim one of these. And I mean, that is definitely going to clear this out a bit. And if by some chance I missed an item, it will show up in one of these. Or it'll be left behind, basically. These wheat seeds, I have no idea how they got in there, but they're not being dropped by anything, so... Good. Good, good, good. That is loud. I'm going to... Well, I think I'm going to turn it on first, and then... There we go. Oh yeah, you can hear stuff spawning right away. All the mobs ever are about to get murderified. So if we come down here, we should see something filling up. Not that. There went some sticks. It appears to be the arrows. So the final thing we need to do for this is make a bunch of void upgrades. I'll also make some capacity upgrades in a little bit. but void upgrades are going to be the bigger deal. So give me a moment and I will BRB. And we're back. So I've got the void upgrades, and all we have to do is click one on each of these, and that'll basically ensure that our inventory doesn't get clogged up with stuff. Basically these will fill up to their like 32 stack limit, which the bones already have. They will fill up to their 32 stack limit, and items will still go into it, but the amount that's in there won't increase. Which is, it's a good thing, because that means that basically this up here won't end up getting backed up and leading to issues. Let me... music and sounds. Also creatures like way down. That was very loud. We can see these chests are still working on emptying out. But all in all, looks pretty good to me. And that one conduit is doing just fine emptying out this chest. Awesome. So I guess that leaves us at a good point to wrap up this episode. So if you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to leave a like, comment, sub down below. And once again, another huge shout out to Liquix, whose SoundCloud will be down in the description. If you guys would like to go and check his stuff out, please do. It's always nice to have a friend with some actual talent. So anyway, take it easy, guys.